Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about my Sephora recommendations for the big VIB Rouge and VIB sale that is coming up next week. Actually, by the time this gets up, it'll be this week. If you're not familiar with this sale, this is like Sephora's Mecca sale every year. It's around this time every year and it's a great time to stock up on Christmas gifts, a great time to stock up on items for yourself, your basics, things that have been on your wish list for a long time. It's the biggest discount that Sephora ever offers throughout the year, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I believe that the 20% off is the most discounted that they offer throughout the year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do a 25% sale, but I don't think so. But anyway, the specifics on this sale will be listed in the description box down below, so be sure and check that out. It's November 3rd through 6th for VIB Rouge members, and then it's November 10th through the 15th for regular VIBs. So I'm going to do two parts to this video. I'm going to do a makeup video, and then I'm going to do a video that's like more skincare or tools video. So I kind of grabbed a lot of product and I realized that I had so much that it would be a very long video, so I'm going to break it up into two. So today we're going to start with, it's also going to include foundations, it's also going to include like anything really that's not like color makeup related. So I've got a perfume here, I've got some skincare products, a primer, some foundations, a couple of different tools. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I did recently just do a video for the friends and family sale, so I didn't include any of those products in this video. I take that back. There's one product that made it into this video just because I love it so much. I just can't talk about it enough. But I am going to link that video down below because those are obvious recommendations as well. If you didn't pick those up for the friends and family sale, I still recommend those products. Just because I did it in another video, I'm just going to link that video down below rather than include those in this video. But I do have quite a few foundations and I wanted to talk about, you know, someone asked me recently on a video, they're like, you have so many favorite foundations, and it kind of made me think about it for a second. And yeah, I get it. Like, how can you have so many favorites, right? But my job is to really test products and to recommend if they're good or not for certain skin types or for certain preferences. Like, I realize that not everybody is looking for the same thing. So just because I might like a certain type of foundation and I find another one that's not what my personal preference is, if I know that it's still a really good product for someone who might like those benefits, then I still want to talk about it as being a good foundation, if that makes sense. So I do have quite a few foundations and I want to talk to you briefly about what I love about them and who I think that they're great for. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first one is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is one you've probably heard about. It's just a fantastic product. It says it's a CC cream, but don't be misled. It offers pretty good coverage. When I think of CC creams, I think of something really natural. I think of more like a tinted moisturizer. In my opinion, this performs like a foundation does. I have heard people complain that it doesn't last on them as long and it gets kind of greasy. So if you have more of an oily skin type, this might not be one that you're going to have success with. But I just wear it on those days that I want my skin to look healthy and I want it to look pretty but not overdone. So if I'm just getting out of the house to run errands or I'm going to go, just run around, maybe go to the gym, this is a great product. It's also got SPF of 50, so I like to wear this kind of as my sunscreen. I can dilute it down if I want to, but otherwise it gives a pretty good coverage. I wouldn't say that it gives full coverage, but I would say it gives like up to medium coverage. So don't be misled by the name CC Cream, but this is a fantastic product in my opinion. Okay, so the next foundation, I realized I don't think I've ever talked much about this on my channel, and I can't believe that because I've had it for quite some time, and I don't think I've done a video on it or ever talked about it or possibly ever even used it in a video. So this might become a surprise to you guys, but the Air Flash by Dior is a foundation that I've had for a while, and I just recently started using it the last week or so, and it's so beautiful. I think the reason I haven't really talked much about it is because I got the wrong shade. I got the shade 201, and I do think it is too light for my skin tone, but the actual product is so beautiful. It's a very kind of like natural light finish, and if you're not familiar with it, it's like an airbrush, so you just kind of spray it on. I just like to spray it on my hand, and then I take my beauty blender and I just go like this and kind of work it into my skin. It's very, very lightweight. I mean, if you're not familiar with the airbrush texture, it just is so light and airy. But I like this foundation a lot because it does give a very, very natural finish. It does a great job of just evening the skin tone out, but not necessarily covering everything. And it just sets to a really nice finish. I wouldn't really categorize it as like a matte foundation, and I wouldn't categorize it as a dewy. It's kind of somewhere in between. So to me, it really looks like natural skin. But yeah, I really like this foundation. I need to do a foundation like review and full day wear video on this because I don't think that I have. I think this might actually be the first time that I've ever mentioned it on my channel, but it is a great foundation. The next foundation is so great for oily skin types. It is the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid to Powder Foundation. Funny, I purchased this foundation like when I first started my channel. It was actually in a different packaging. It was like in a little bottle. And they recently, this year, packaged it. They didn't reformulate it, but they did repackage it into this little squeeze tube here. And so it was sent to me and I've been using it and I really like this. It is really great for oily skin because it really does set to like a powder-like finish. You don't need to set it with a powder afterwards. It has a very matte finish. As far as the coverage goes, it's not full coverage, but it is, I would say medium. I wouldn't say for me it's very buildable, but it gives me enough coverage. It does a great job of just evening things out. My skin type doesn't really require a lot of coverage. I mean, I have some little freckles and sunspots, but for the most part, a good medium coverage foundation will give me the coverage that I want, and I find I get great coverage from this. If you have dry skin, this is definitely one that I would not recommend because it is going to make your skin look more dry. You are going to want to go for more of a satin or even a dewy finish foundation. But if you have oily skin and you haven't tried this foundation, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You may have heard me talk recently in some videos that I feel like my skin has gotten so oily the last, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months. So I've really been enjoying this foundation a lot for that reason. The next two foundations I have are long wear foundations. It is the first one I'm going to talk about is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Concealer and Foundation. And I love this. The only thing I don't like about this foundation is the applicator. I don't like that it has this big doe foot wand, but the coverage of this and the wearability of this are really top notch. If you are looking for a full coverage, long wear foundation that you can just put on in the morning and not really worry about, this is a great option for you. It does have, I think it has like twice as much pigment as a normal foundation, I think is what I remember when this first launched, hearing that. So you don't need a lot. I think when I first got this, I applied as much as I would like a typical foundation, and I did not like it. I thought it was way too heavy and cakey. But after I learned that and I cut the amount that I was using by about in half, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this foundation. So that's just a little tip. The next foundation is similar to the Clinique in the fact that it's a pretty good coverage and long wearing foundation. It's the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation, and I absolutely love this foundation. I got it recently when it launched. This is kind of a newer foundation, and I've been wearing it a lot. What I like to do is I actually like to mix it with like the Face Atelier Ultra Skin Foundation, or a foundation that's just a little bit more of a dewy glow, because this does have a very, very flat matte finish. Initially, like that first hour that it's on my skin, it does look kind of heavy, but as the day goes on and my skin kind of produces a little bit of oil, it kind of gives it more of a better finish for me. So what I like to do is just mix it with a sheer foundation or a satin finish foundation, just a little bit, just to kind of tweak the finish a little bit. But as far as wearability goes, you guys, this one is fantastic. I can put this on in the morning, and I mean, I can say that I really don't need to touch up at all. Like 8, 9 hours later, I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, okay, I could put a little powder on now, but even if I didn't, it still looks fine. So if you're looking for a good coverage, long wearing, I would recommend either of these guys. If you have very oily skin, I would recommend the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid to Powder Foundation. And if you're looking for a lighter weight, like kind of more natural, just my skin looks healthy look, then I would recommend the IT Cosmetics CC Cream or the Dior Air Flash, okay? Okay, so moving right along, let's talk about applicators. I have 2 applicators here. I have the Beauty Blender. Mine is super dirty, don't judge. I need to wash it. But if you don't have a Beauty Blender, you should get one. They will change your life. And if you do have a Beauty Blender, the Sephora sale is a great time to get a couple more to stock up, because you really do want to replace these guys, I don't know, every couple of months, maybe. I don't replace mine often enough, but I would say, you know, after a few months, you might want to replace it if you use it every single day. So it's a good time to stock up on those. Then I also have this Tarte brush, which I know I've talked about in other videos. It's a foundation brush, and I just love it because it makes foundation application so quick and easy because of the size of it. It's so big that it literally just like blends that foundation in a second. Love this foundation brush. Okay, so then I have a couple products for the skin before foundation. I have the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. You can see that I'm definitely going to stock up on this because I'm almost out of it. It's a mineral primer and it's oil-free. For me, this does a really great job of smoothing everything out and kind of minimizing the appearance of pores, just giving me like a smooth canvas to start on. So I really like this. It's also extremely lightweight, so you put it on the skin and it doesn't feel heavy at all. I actually just concentrate in the areas that I feel like I need it most, which are going to be the center of my face, right here where I have pores, and a little bit on my forehead. And it does a great job of keeping my shine to a minimum and keeping my foundation on all day long. So I really like this one. Then I have the Josie Maran Argan Oil in Light. I love a great beauty oil, and I feel like Josie Maran came out, I feel like she kind of like paved the way for beauty oils, because I may be wrong, but I think when her line launched, it was all about the beauty oils. But I like the light version because, again, I am feeling a little more oily these days, and I don't want anything too heavy. But I find that I like to use this at night. Sometimes I'll mix it in with a foundation, like a more heavy matte foundation. I'll mix it in to just kind of dilute it a little bit and make it a little bit more of a not so matte coverage. But yeah, this is just a great product to have, and I really like hers a lot. Next is the Sephora eye makeup remover, the waterproof, and I just have this little sample size. I've purchased it in the past and loved it, and I found it in, like, I think I got it in a Sephora Playbox recently, but this guy is really, really great. It's just a really great eye makeup remover. I really don't know what else to say about it. It does a great job of just getting makeup off without a lot of like scrubbing or a lot of effort. So if you wear a lot of eye makeup and you need something heavy duty to remove it, this is a really good one. Okay, I just have 3 more products. Perfume. I love this perfume. I would say that this, along with that amber oil, that if you've been following me for a while, you've heard me rave about that oil. You get it from Whole Foods. Oh, it smells so good. But this perfume is right there next to it. It's by the brand Juliet Has a Gun, and such a weird name. And the name of the perfume is not a perfume. I believe there are a few different fragrances by this brand, so when you go, they all kind of look the same, so make sure to pay attention and get the one that says not a perfume. I need to buy a big bottle. I bought this like little spray. I think it was like $25. I always like to do that when I'm trying a new fragrance, just so I don't commit to like an $80 or $90 bottle and then decide I don't like it. But this smells so good. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It just smells so good. When I wear this and the amber oil, which I'll leave a link for that down below. You cannot get that at Sephora. You have to get it from Whole Foods. When I wear either of those fragrances, I always get comments on, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? I just love it. I think it smells so beautiful. Then I could not leave this guy out. I actually got upstairs, organized everything, and realized I forgot to grab the Foreo. I love my Foreo, you guys. I use this every single night when I cleanse my skin. Right now I'm using the Obagi Gel Foaming Cleanser, but you can use any cleanser, really. There are some you may want to avoid, like more clay-based cleansers, but if you have like a gel or a cream or a lotion, this would be great for it. It's just like a device to help you cleanse your skin. So I pour my cleanser directly on top of this. You can put it under the water, completely submerge it. It's fine. A good charge on this lasts for months and months. And then you just turn it on. I don't know if you can hear it, but it just pulsates and vibrates, and then I just wash my face with it. It feels so good. It's so, so gentle. I know the Clarisonic kind of like pioneered the whole like cleansing device path, and I actually don't have a Clarisonic. That's kind of on my wish list, and maybe I'll pick one up during the sale. But this is a lot more gentler. So if you had gentler, is that a word? It is now. If you have very sensitive skin, or something like the Clarisonic is too abrasive, then this would be a great option for you. It comes in different sizes too. I believe this is the Play, the Luna 2 or something. The Luna 2. Anyway, I'll link all the different sizes down below, but I think they start at like $250, then there's a $200 one, and there's even a tiny one that you can get. Is just like a sample. It doesn't really recharge, so I think it's good for like 100 uses. It's a tiny little guy, but it's great if you travel, or if you just want to try it out before you commit. That one's like $40. But I can't say enough great things about this. I absolutely love it. I used to like dread washing my face every night because by the end of the night I'm so tired, but I actually look forward to it with this device. So this is definitely something to pick up because of the price point. If you can get 20% off, I don't know why you wouldn't. Okay, and then the last product I have for this video are these little hair ties. They're called traceless hair rings, and I just grabbed these recently when I was at Sephora. Like, they had them where you check out, and they have all those little things that just make you like throw them in your bag. And this was it. So it's a hair tie. It's not super cute or anything, but what I love about this is it doesn't leave a crimp in your hair. So I talk about this all the time. I don't like to wash my hair. I try and go as long as I can without having to wash my hair. So 3, maybe 4 days, but by then I'm really stretching it. But I also like to have my hair up all the time. The problem with that is that I get a big crease or crimp in my hair from a ponytail, and then I have to restyle it. So if I just want my hair out of my face and I don't want to have a crimp and ruin my style, then I will use one of these guys. They really do not leave a crease in your hair. It's actually pretty amazing. Granted, they don't securely like hold your hair, so if you're trying to work out, these are not for you. But if you just want to get your hair out of your face, like if you're going to wash your face and you want to get out of your face, or if you're at work and you just want your hair out of your face, I will wear these. But again, they're not going to give you that tight high ponytail. Not at all. They're just going to get your hair out of your face without leaving a crimp from a hair tie. So I love these. Highly recommend these. If you haven't tried these, give them a shot. Well, that wraps up part 1 of my VIB sale recommendations. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what products you're going to pick up in the comment section down below. I'm going to create a wish list because obviously there are some things that I don't own that I want to pick up. Particularly, I want to look at all the value sets and the gift sets that are coming out for holiday. I really like to use this as an opportunity to get Christmas gifts out of the way for all of my, female friends and family members. And it's fun because I think makeup is one of those things, unless you're like me or like you guys who love to watch makeup videos, a lot of women don't, they like makeup, but they don't really know where to start, or they don't really like to spend the money on themselves for it. So I think it's really nice to gift makeup as a Christmas present, I think, because it is kind of one of those gifts that they're gonna love, but that it's not something that they would buy themselves. So I'm gonna check out all the value sets, and maybe if I have time, I'll do a video on my wish list value sets, and we can talk about those. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.